We're now moving into our startup showcase, and this is going to be rapid fire. Really exciting to introduce to you an entire group of startups that are working in this space. I'm going to give you a quick lineup here, and then they're each going to pitch for several minutes, so we can review their materials and see all the progress they've made here in 2020. So the first company that will be kicking this off will be Tarun, the CEO of ReturnSafe. After that, we'll have SecurityGate, then Zipcode Express, then Choose Health, and finally we'll have startup EagleEye present. So Tarun, I'm going to let you take it away, and good luck to all the startups presenting.
Thank you, Gavin. We'll have ReturnSafe pop up here pretty soon. If I haven't got to meet you yet, my name is Courtney Real. I'm a corporate venture associate here at Capital Factory. And 2020 has definitely been an interesting year for everyone. So today we want to highlight some of the companies within our portfolio that are helping all of us get back to work and get back to work safely. So if we can pull up ReturnSafe, they'll be presenting first. Each company's going to have 4 minutes to present, and then Q&A. So drop your questions in the chat, and we're excited to have you present. The stage is yours.
Hey, everybody. I'm the CEO of ReturnSafe. And so the company was started about back in April, right when the pandemic first hit. And we originally started as a nonprofit with the goal of helping companies really ensure business continuity in the face of this kind of a pandemic event and manage the health risk at their office and be able to reopen safely. So the company's had made a great deal of progress. Really excited to share that with you. The main thing that we think about with regards to the pandemic is we went back and looked at the last 100 years of data with regards to these sorts of infectious disease outbreaks, and a few things really stuck out. One, just in the last 15 years, we've had these 8 major outbreaks. So this isn't like something that's never going to happen again. The other really surprising fact is that the annual flu, or also called as the pandemic influenza, goes back 100 years, and every year it costs the world well over $100 billion, just 30 billion here in the US alone. So even the flu has been costing us a lot of money. We just haven't given it a lot of attention. What we do to some extent with vaccinations and stuff like that, but I think now COVID just really makes that even more important. And then you look at some things that have happened, like cybersecurity, when Sony got hacked or Equifax got hacked, and then you see that this is really, these kinds of events need to be protected against. So we think of this industry now as the biosecurity industry. So I'll just skip over this in a minute because we'll touch on it a bit. But yeah, there's a massive cost to the GDP, both from the flu, from COVID, and all of these infectious disease. And that's really our job, is infectious disease management, really at the workplace. And we're starting to see corporations really change how they approach this. One thing I really like to point out is that vaccines, that everybody thinks is going to be an answer and then everything's going to go back to normal. The truth is, no, vaccines have never been a silver bullet to deal with infectious disease. In fact, MERS and SARS, that are the other coronaviruses that we stopped without a vaccine. And it was through a combination of screen, test, and trace, and which is really what ReturnSafe does, is enable that approach at scale, and instead of just relying on a vaccine. So there's 3 components to the app. We have a mobile application where employees can do screening. They answer a few questions, and then they get a, you're allowed to come to work or not allowed to come to work. We call it a boarding pass. And increasingly now we have some companies that are even able to tie that back into the building access management systems. So you can't enter the office unless you've sort of answered a question and have been cleared. And we also do case management. So what does a company do in terms of workflow if somebody says they reported positive? And so we handle all that. So assembled a great team, a lot of medical experts, enterprise software experts, and have some pretty incredible growth just in the 4 months that we've been operating. Actually, we just closed the September numbers. We just passed $45,000 in monthly revenue, and we have almost 40 customers. using the platform today, and over 20,000 people that are checking in every day with their health, and universities, schools, nursing homes, etc. So yeah, customers cut across every vertical now. We're very focused on education, particularly K through 12 and universities, because we think that's really important. Built a reasonable business model here, so that we can really start to scale the business. So I'm probably up on my 4 minutes, so I'll just pause there and happy to answer any questions.
Great, thank you so much. So we had a question, and what inspired you to start this company? I know the pandemic and all, but how did you get this team together, and how did you guys really get started?
Yeah, so back in February, I was checking up on my sister who moved to Singapore after she got married, and you know, I was checking up on her because I knew there was COVID going on in Asia, and you know, she told me all the great things the Singapore government was doing, and really put my mind at ease that she was going to be fine. And then I came to the conclusion that here in America, we don't have anything like the Singapore government. You know, they dealt with the SARS and MERS situation before. They don't have the federal versus state issue. They have a big public health organization. So I came to the conclusion that here in America, we, the private sector, has to step up to really address this problem. And so initially, we started as a nonprofit and had 500 volunteers come together to build out this technology.
Oh, wow.
And then, yeah, and within the first 10 days, you know, I put out a Facebook post and 500 people jumped in a Slack channel and all started scramming on building this thing. And then soon after that, as we started to look at like, what's this going to take? I was like, well, you know, as a nonprofit, you still have to go and ask people for money. But like, if we just actually start charging businesses for this, then we can offer it to schools and universities and nursing homes for 80% off. So that's what we ended up doing, is we're just charging the larger companies, the enterprises, so that we can offer it for almost for free for schools and universities and nursing homes.
That's awesome. Well, we're so excited to support you, and thank you for presenting here today. We're going to go ahead and bring up our next startup. So Ted, you are on deck with Security Gate. And for all of our audience members, please do not forget to drop your questions in the chat. Awesome, Ted. We see you on screen.
Perfect.
And see the deck. You have the stage. Begin
Okay.
whenever you're ready.
I appreciate that. Hi, everybody. My name is Ted Gutierrez, CEO and co-founder of SecurityGate.io. We're based out of Houston, Texas. Really excited as a Capital Factory member to share our story a little bit and what we've been doing primarily for our customers and ourselves when it comes to return to work, how to do it safely, and how we use some of our internal team members to build some capabilities to do that effectively. I'm going to walk you through about 4 slides about what we do, and I look forward to your questions. So founded in 2017, our team comes with a robust understanding of how industrial control system companies work. You can see Chevron, Westlake Chemical. These are really big operational facilities, power plants, places where there's obviously a lot of hard hats. And we work in the cybersecurity space there. And so our belief system is that cybersecurity really comes down to people, process, and technology, and the congruence across all of them, understanding where the top risks are. And usually, it is a manual process to conduct cyber assessments utilizing spreadsheets, and the follow-on remediations are even worse to do. And so we came together about 4 years ago to build a software as a service that really automates that entire process to give back time to these operational facilities and really to show insights. And so what we did and what we built was our customers wanted a single pane of glass to view and manage all of their cyber risk insights. And I put in parentheses and wellness insights, because what we did is we had this base of facilities and clients that on a global fashion were already conducting assessments regularly using the software that we built, but they were doing it through tablets and computers. We were building a mobile app at the time in about Q1 for a release in, I believe, the middle of Q1. And our developers decided that a COVID-19 wellness module could very easily be added in, and we started driving in some insights. And so what we did is we actually built a sub-component of our overall software systems in the mobile capacity much like my predecessor, to be able to conduct scans of people before they come into the office, notify key leadership of where those risks are, and keep it obviously updated in one major in one software system. Customers that are using this feel that in a really decentralized manner, they want to be able to have facilities that regularly don't check in. So where most people are utilizing software apps to verify whether someone's coming into a local facility, say in Houston, we actually see the application being used on a global scale by facilities that actually don't go back. It's actually in an effort to understand where the health is and where the challenges are across the globe. And then if they have an issue, they know exactly how to pinpoint that. Another thing that we found is usage of the app actually limits the amount of personal information that gets shared on email or in other company-wide fashion. So from a security perspective, we've been able to apply those same principles of cybersecurity to the mobile application. So really, the company admin creates an employee account. Everybody can download the SecurityGate app on iOS or Android. And then the employee conducts daily screenings of about 10 questions. And those 10 questions are really followed by the recommendations of the state of Texas and the CDC. And then there's a secure dashboard available to that company admin that he or she can look at. And so we're looking at temperature, we're looking at travel, we're looking at different symptoms related to the overall personnel, and then human-to-human contact. So once again, my name is Ted from SecurityGate.io. We're in the business of leveling up cyber programs with software. But we thought we'd do our part to help those companies and others like it through a mobile app at a fraction of the cost of some of the other programs are available. It's my pleasure to speak with you today. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to securitygate.io. Thanks so much.
Awesome, Ted. Thank you so much, and we appreciate your presentation this afternoon. One question we have is, how long did it take you guys to decide to pivot? Or not really pivot, but add a feature that's going to help your customers stay at work and stay safe. So talk about the process. How long did that take to add on?
That's one of the decision factors that we use. We really didn't know what was going to happen with COVID. We knew that some major companies were going to start building their own apps, but we knew that we had an efficiency of speed and capital. So we work on 3-week sprint methodology here at SecurityGate. So all we did was we looked at what questions would we ask, and we looked at rolling it up. And honestly, it was built in less than about 7 days because we already had the infrastructure established. And so we never changed our core value proposition to focus on industrial control space. We just kind of have this. And really what it's been used for is some of our legacy customers using it. But truthfully, this is how we track internally with all 20 of our employees coming into our location here in Houston. This is how we track it. So it didn't take that much lift because we're in the business of sending questionnaires out and driving insights to it. So we were really lucky. I wouldn't recommend people go and build apps if it's not in their core or their assessment modules if it's not in their core wheelhouse. But that's what we did, and truthfully, we were able to do it within one sprint cycle. So it wasn't a heavy lift, but we're gaining a lot of benefit from it, even internally.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for presenting, and we appreciate all of your wisdom there. Don't build an app if you don't know how. So next, we will bring up Zipcode Express and Richard to pitch on how they're helping people stay safe and go back to work. Richard, we see you on your screen, so you are good to go. It looks like you're in notes mode, so if you just want to switch over to presenter mode.
Okay, I don't know how to switch this. Okay, hold on. Since I have 2 screens probably. Is that okay? Yeah, I just go ahead and do this.
Sure, and then you have 4 minutes.
Okay, good. Thanks, everyone. So I'm the CEO of Zipcode Express. We are based in Austin. We are pretty much focused on the smart locker solution for companies and apartments, and also like real estate properties. And recently have a high demand on our solution. So the company products we are doing is primarily right now is package locker, and also we have other type of lockers like a full locker, refrigerator locker for grocery, and also the part and tooth locker for asset management in the corporations. The difference, we from us with other package locker solution company in the market is that we own the end-to-end solution, and we have all the software hardware designed by ourselves, and also we own some patents. And these are some installations we have done, and some package lockers you can see like the shapes and looking of the lockers, and we have some outdoor lockers too. And the second row you will see the full locker, for delivering the takeouts, and also the asset management locker we installed in a university. So our business model is very unique. We try to save the customer cost from the very beginning. So if you work with us, we can offer free upfront cost for our lockers. Just for example, if you're the apartment, we only charge the tenants, not the apartment. We probably just charge like $3 to $5 every month. And for corporations, we probably can lease. We can install everything for free, and you just pay monthly fee. Either pay by employee. For example, they want their food to be delivered to the locker, and they can pay monthly delivery fees to us, or like by the corporation, they can do leasing. Either way, we can consider all the payment options. So currently we're a startup. We started like 3 years ago. The first couple of years we focused on the technology, and this year's really like we grow pretty fast because the COVID-19 people wanted the solution for contactless delivery or less contact delivery and pickup. So we this year we installed about 15 apartments already. Right now we have 10,000 users and 6,000 apartment units already. So 90,000 packages processed so far, and it's working pretty well. And also we sold to New York, Minnesota, and the UK. So all the lockers we can manage remotely, and if some problem happen, we can get notified by the system, and we can get a bit the first time to get on the locker to check everything if there's some issues. But our locker is very, very reliable so far, and save a lot of headaches from us. So another two things we offer right now. So we also offer the asset management locker, and we promptly install one for the University of Washington to manage the equipments like the student magazine department, and they use the lockers, can check in, check out anytime, and they can return and tracking all the utilization of all the equipment pretty efficiently. And also we are in serious talk with the government and some other food delivery channels to implement the food delivery locker in the market, because right now people mostly gonna order online. They don't go to the restaurant. They try to stay in their office or home, and they want their food delivered without going out. So we are trying to provide the food delivery locker into the US. So that's pretty much what I have. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
Thank you, Richard, for presenting. That was great. Can you tell us a use case of something that has come up during COVID, especially in the workforce, that people have been able to use your technology to help either get people back to work, maybe delivering different things to the workplace, or any kind of special use cases you guys have seen during COVID?
Yes, because sometimes employee are not working at the office. If some package is delivered to them, and they cannot receive on time, and also if they the staff receive that, they notify them, takes a long time. But with our locker, the courier can just deliver to locker. Our system gonna notify the employee right away, real time, and they get a notification. They know their package is there. They can go and pick it up anytime.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. We appreciate your pitch. So next up, we have Michael from Choose Health, if we want to bring him up on stage. Michael, it's great to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks a lot for having me.
We see your screen and we can hear and see you, so the stage is yours.
Wonderful, thanks. So Choose Health started in 2019 at Capital Factory, and our founder, Mark Holland, was previously in the health and wellness business, and he decided to start this business to help 1 million people improve at least one key marker of internal health. And so basically it's a blood testing kit that you send from home, and it helps you to discover and manage health risk factors to be more proactive about your health. So when we started the company, we asked a team of doctors, if you could only test for 5 markers, what would those be? And in typical doctor fashion, they came back with 6, but we narrowed it down to these 6. And basically, our customers subscribe to get kits on a monthly or quarterly basis. They get the box sent to them in the mail, and it's a simple finger prick test that they can take from home. It takes about 10 minutes, and you send it in, and you get your metrics for all of these key health markers and some information on what they mean and how you might be able to change your habits or your lifestyle to improve them. So again, this is what the kit looks like. We deliver results on the mobile phone. We're also launching a web application for our customers to be able to go get their results. The health tests, so the finger prick, you put that into a sample and it goes to our third-party CAP and CLIA accredited lab. And each test is $68 for a quarterly subscription. And this is just what the journey looks like. So you can order it from our website, or you can order it from a physician or from Amazon.com. And if you order it from us, a physician will approve it in 24 hours, and then it gets shipped to your home or office in 3 to 5 days. Then when you send it back, you get your results in about 3 days. And you get your results in about 3 to 5 days after you send it back in for testing. And so we have doctor requisition built into the platform so that all orders are approved, and if any critical results come in, we have a doctor that can approve them and consult with the patients. Again, this is just a view of the app. One of the things that a lot of our customers find really beneficial is seeing how their markers change over time. And around March of this year, obviously COVID happened. So it was a really interesting development for our company because we happened to be kind of right place at the right time. People didn't want to go into a doctor's office to take these kinds of tests, to get their blood work done. They didn't want to go to a lab and get a needle in their vein. And so this made it a really convenient way for people to test from home. And then we started offering COVID-19 antibody lab tests from home. It works in pretty much the exact same way. You get the kit and you can test for IgG or IgM, which are the epitopes for SARS-CoV-2, and you get those reports via your app or website. So we launched that in April. We also have partnerships with doctors and employers where we can help build them their own basic custom website with their logo. It's branded, and we manage everything on the back end, but it makes it really easy for their patients or their employees to order kits via this sort of mini store that we've set up for them, and it gets shipped directly to the patient at home. We've had thousands of tests taken, over 4.5 stars on Amazon and reviews.io, and that's it. If you would like to try out a test, you can get 50% off with the code Republic50.
Michael, that was great. Thank you so much for presenting. So I would love to dig into who are those employers that are paying for tests for their employees? What use cases are you guys seeing there?
Yeah, so we have gotten calls from some large hotel chains. We've partnered with some companies like there's a company here in town called Clean SG that actually helps to they have a more sort of comprehensive program that they do for employers to help get them ready to go back to work. And we are a part of that program. So that sort of the testing, antibody testing, so you can know who already had the virus and is safe to return to work. So those are a couple of use cases, but really all different kinds of companies that are in, any kind of retail or consumer-facing environment where they want to make sure that their people have the antibodies and are safe to go back to work.
And what's the timeline on that? How long does it take for an employer to sign up for it till the employee gets tested and has their results back?
Yeah, it's pretty quick. So if we can set up an employer within a week, really, we just can bulk ship them kits and get their website set up if they want that within a week, and then they can hand them to employees, and the employees, they can take the test whenever they want, and within about 3 to 5 days of sending it in, they'll get an email that their results are ready.
That's awesome. So we have some more questions from the audience. One person is asking for the code again. Looks like you have some customers in the audience.
Yeah, Republic 50.
Because you guys are also raising some capital on Republic, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. We've raised over $100,000. We launched about a month ago on Republic, and we already cleared $100,000. So it's exciting.
Awesome. Congrats.
Yeah, thanks.
And then one more question we have, is there an extra fee, or can people get a consultation with a doctor? So after they get their test results, how do they figure out what it means?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that we've built into the application and the new web app is really sort of that first level of doctor insights, which is, hey, if your results are saying this, and you told us that you exercise or you don't exercise or you have this kind of diet, then we can make personalized recommendations to you. We also have telehealth partners that our customers connect with. Right now, it's free of charge. But if they want to, especially if they have critical results, we always connect them with it to be compliant. We connect them with the doctors. But right now, we offer it. If anybody wants to connect to a doctor, we offer it for free. So it's a 15-minute telehealth virtual consultation.
Well, congrats on all the success so far, and thank you for pitching this afternoon. So reminder to the audience, that's Republic 50 if you want to go get your testing with Choose Health. So next up, we have EagleEye and William coming up to stage. Thank you all for being with us this afternoon. This is our last presentation, so make sure that you're putting all of your questions in the chat so we can have Will answer them. Will, we see you up on stage, but we don't see your deck quite yet. There we go.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining. I'm Will with EagleEye Networks. We are a cloud-based video security provider located here in Austin, Texas. We've been around for about 8 years, and we have been very fortunate to have our CEO have an affiliation with the Capital Factory to assist in their video security operations there. And so we're thrilled to be able to join you all in this discussion today. EagleEye Networks is at its core a video security company, and we do video security in the cloud to make it more accessible and easier to use, and also to enhance business operations. But what the pandemic has taught us, and as we now move hopefully pretty soon beyond the pandemic and back to some semblance of normalcy, is that video is a integral part of getting back to work, getting back to a normal work environment. And there's a myriad of different ways in which EagleEye achieves that hopefully getting back into that work mode. So the first thing I want to talk about is remote access. Old traditional video systems typically required you to either be on site to view that video, or to download software configuration tools on your browser, or maybe have to do some weird things on your phone. Remember a litany of different usernames or passwords. The EagleEye Cloud VMS gives you a single pane of glass that allows you to view all of your business locations, whether you're on your computer or on your phone or your tablet. You're able to customize those layouts and you're able to efficiently and easily be able to share video within the software. So why is remote access important? Well, as we all have kind of experienced over these last 7-8 months of working from home, it's a dangerous time perhaps out there, protecting your business from a physical security standpoint, but also if you do have employees still working in an office or retail space, for example, you need to make sure that they're complying with all the rules and regulations that COVID has put forth. So whether that's mask compliance, whether that's social distancing, et cetera, the remote access capabilities, the quick and easy and efficient ability to go in and view your video through the EagleEye app is really important. When we talk about the expansion of smart ways in which we use video security, analytics is something that comes up quite a bit when we're talking with potential customers. They want to be able to use their video not just for security purposes, but also for business efficiency and business operational purposes. So whether that's perhaps people counting so that you can understand in a certain time of the week, oh, I need to staff my business a little bit more, or whether that's potentially a loitering type analytic that we offer that allows you to see, oh, is this particular person kind of hanging out too long in a specific area and maybe a sensitive environment, say like a bank or whatnot. We are adding analytics all the time to our cloud-based VMS, and with an open API platform, we're allowed and we're capable, I should say, of being able to partner with a whole host of different software companies to incorporate their specific capabilities in our core video platform. Another important element of video is the access control element, I should say, and that really is door locks, entry and exit through specific passageways. EagleEye is integrated with a number of different access control platforms, and so you can get very specific on, okay, if I need to monitor who's entering or exiting through my business at this given hour of the day, I can easily do that, and I can sync the door activity with the video in real time. And lastly, a topic that has really been pretty prevalent in discussions over the last number of months are thermal cameras. We obviously want to make sure all of our work environments are safe. And in order to accomplish that, it's important that we understand who is coming in, and if they are coming in, are they, healthy? Do they have a normal normal body temperature, et cetera? So we've developed a really unique thermal camera technology that we've incorporated into our software platform that allows for a quick temperature detection on an individual that's coming into a facility. This has been well received in schools and airports, et cetera. So if your business is one of those that's deemed essential and one of those that is now perhaps bringing folks back, and you want an extra layer of security or comfort in knowing that people are coming in and being healthy while doing so, thermal cameras could definitely be a solution for you. Those are just a few of the number of different ways in which cloud video is really changing the game. People always think of video security as a means of surveillance, as a means of protecting your business, and at its core, that's still what it is. But there are so many other elements in which video can improve your operations, can improve your day-to-day functions in your work environment. And so if you're interested in learning more about the cloud VMS that EagleEye provides, I highly recommend that you reach out. We're having an incredible year in sales, which is fantastic. We're hiring as well right now, located in, like I said, here in Austin, Texas. So thank you for your time. And if there are any questions, I'll be happy to take them now.
William, that was a great presentation, and thank you for sharing. So we have a question. Of course, you guys are one of the startups who is doing really well during COVID, or doing fairly, and having to expand and keep up with all of the different things going on with COVID in 2020. So how have you guys been able to take your team remote and be able to hire and grow, and just talk about that experience of booming during a pandemic? What does that look like for y'all?
Yeah, it's been interesting. If a cloud company like us can't function in a remote environment, I don't know what if that would be a good thing. But no, it has been a change, but it's been a good change. And what we've seen is that if you weren't an adopter of cloud technology, or maybe perhaps you just hadn't thought about it, how much it impacts your life from the minute you wake up with your, checking your email, to Starbucks remembering your exact order when you walk into the store, if you can go into Starbucks now, all the way to the evening when Netflix tells you what you should probably watch before you go to bed. The cloud dictates our life right now, and in so many capacities. So if you weren't really focused or thinking about that prior to the pandemic, being forced into a home environment on a consistent basis certainly probably raised your eyes to it. And so when it comes to business operations, and specifically video security, being forced to be at home and not be able to be physically at your business really did raise a level of need to be able to, from afar, look in and make sure that everything was going well. And if you were using an outdated or poor performing system in the past, that became an impossibility. So we were fortunate enough to be well positioned to provide that to potential clients during the pandemic. And certainly as we move beyond the pandemic, I think it's going to be something that is well received, just because so much of our life now revolves around the cloud, and it's not so much of a foreign topic anymore. And if you ask someone what it is, they don't point to the sky. They kind of grasp what the cloud actually really truly is now. So.
Well, that's awesome. Well, we have another question from the audience. So what happens when it detects that someone is maybe not social distancing, or if they have too high of a temperature? How do people actually act upon that information?
Yeah, so we have an intelligent means of setting up alerts within our platform. You can pick which users within the platform receive those alerts. You can receive them via email. You can receive them via text. And you can set up those alerts to trigger a warning if someone, say, breaches a motion region that you've set, or maybe you've set a certain type of design with the analytics for social distancing purposes, or perhaps you've set it up like you were asking for thermal cameras to detect someone with a high grade, or a high body temperature. All those things are available to be received via alerts, and so you can actually act upon those types of issues in real time.
That's awesome. And another question we have, which I think a lot of our cloud companies are getting, is what about protection and security? So some of these systems have been hacked in the past. How are you guys protecting this data and information?
Yeah, it's a great question. So our founder and CEO, a gentleman by the name of Dean Draco, was fortunate to have some success prior to starting EagleEye Networks earlier this decade. We have built our own private cloud. So we are a global company. We're headquartered here in Austin, but we have 4 other offices globally, and we have data centers in 11 different countries throughout the world, 2 specifically here in the United States, where we co-locate our cloud storage. So everything is protected and kept within the quote unquote EagleEye umbrella, the EagleEye cloud. So we're not renting out space and whatnot. And just based upon cybersecurity alone, what we've identified is that we provide a much more cyber secure platform than a traditional, what I would call on-premise server or DVR, where you have to open a port and you have to potentially make yourself vulnerable to a hacker. I mean, we've all heard the horror stories of several different companies that have been hacked, and usually the source of that hack is due to an open port or an open VPN. We keep all of that well locked in within our cloud infrastructure. So one of the things that we've always kind of hung our hat on is the cybersecurity element of the cloud. And certainly as we need to be even more secure and protective of our video moving forward, that's something that is a core tenet of EagleEye.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much for being our last presenter today. Great job. And thank you all for joining in. So that is it. That is the 5 startups. I want to thank Return Safe, Security Gate, Zipcode Express, Choose Health, and EagleEye, all for presenting and showing our audience today how Texas and Austin-based startups are helping us all get back to work safely. So I want to bring Gavin back up to stage to lead you guys to the end of the event.
All right. Thanks, Courtney. Great job getting these startups on board. And kudos to all these entrepreneurs. Innovating right now in 2020 is tough, and y'all are incredible for pushing forward. It's hard to present. It's really hard to do this virtually. So it's a huge example for the folks watching.
I agree. Well, thank you for having us.
Pleasure. Well, everybody, this wraps up the Future of Work track and the hosting I'm doing today. So happy to have you here for Austin Startup Week. We have tons of great stuff tomorrow. I'll be checking out the legal track tomorrow, and I love the hop-in networking feature. That's been pretty cool. Just to sum up the day, I was able to moderate both the work from home and Future of Work tracks. So just as some closing thoughts, I mean, work's a big deal. It's where we find a lot of our meaning. It's how we take care of our families and provide our income. We find a lot of, every level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, work hits somewhere, whether it's your sustenance and survival or your higher order thinking and legacy. Work is a big part of our identity. And as we look to the future, as things like AI and automation move more and more into the workplace, this ability to adapt and tackle new systems and new tools and new paradigms like we're seeing in 2020 is the exact skill set we need to find value as individuals, as community members, and as entrepreneurs. So, keep chasing things, keep following, this customer discovery journey that we learned about today. It's very much adaptable to every part of our world in the startup scene. I'm very thankful to Triet today. He's been behind the scenes as our tech manager for this track. So shout out to him and the Capital Factory team for their great work, setting up the right tools so we can do this virtually. I'm used to Startup Week with this startup crawl clogged lobby here at Capital Factory, and it's so cool to do this online and avoid some of the crowding. So this is the new future. We're all adapting. I read a quote that, when you think about virtual versus in-person meetings, and I'm going to leave this as a closing thought. Now that COVID has happened and we're allowing this hybrid approach, even if one person dials into the call, every meeting from here on out is virtual. And so think about that and how that changes your work, your business. We're adapting to a new paradigm. It's an incredible opportunity for entrepreneurs to get their heads around it in your industry faster, to snap your company into place, and to survive and thrive. This hasn't been an easy year for anybody. I've had health challenges. My family's had challenges. I've shut down a business this year. It's a tricky, tricky time. And at the same time, we've grown our executive council at YGC. We've kicked off new ventures. We received new funding. Everything is different. And so it just takes this new mindset. And learning is hard. No one is good at picking up new things all the time. And it can be relentless to do that under the stressful environment that we're seeing, from a health and political and every other standard right now. These are strange times. And so I encourage each of you to think as you do your goal setting and as you plan out the rest of this year. We're in our final quarter this year. Find ways to become more adaptable, to expose yourselves to more of this entrepreneurial thinking, to follow up with the people we've heard from today at both these tracks, and to add value here to the Austin community. Whether you are a startup founder or work at a startup, or you're contemplating it or provide support or services to startups, they're an essential part of this ecosystem. And they drive new job creation, new tools, and keep a lot of the DNA that makes Austin cool here in town. So thank you, everyone, for your time today. I'm going to close out this session and see you around town soon. Take care.